Here on YouTube, there are a group of African American women who consider themselves to be the divestment community. And the divestment community is tired of Black America. In more particular terms, they are tired of the lack of protection that Black men have offered them. They're tired of the lack of productivity. They feel that Black men have taken advantage of them. And they make these points on videos or in comment sections why dating African American men are bad ideas. They will call Black men weak. They will say that these brothers are not ready for serious relationships. They don't want to commit. And they point out a lot of different things as to why they won't deal with Black men anymore and don't want to date them. They're tired of giving Black men a chance. And it's time that they expanded their options, because they can get a better deal somewhere else. They don't have to stay here and put up with our stuff as Black men. And I always wondered, how does this come about? How does this come about? And I for years, I thought that I knew the answer. But now I think I understand what it is, okay? Because this wasn't the case in the 90s or in the 80s. But why is it the case now? Well, here's what's happening. Back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, where you would have a group of sisters that would make a decision that might not be beneficial to them. They would go out and they might have a relationship with a Black man or somebody else. You would call them a Pookie and Ray Ray. And they would sire children with him. Now, this guy is somebody they thought was charismatic, attractive, and all of that. But if they still had good looks, they could still have the backup plan. And the backup plan were guys like probably me and you, right? Guys that are like me that went to college, guys who had, worked hard, guys who probably weren't as popular in high school, although I was popular, but I don't know about you niggas. But they had a backup plan. Those Black men, although they might have worked hard or did well, could have been a blue-collar brother or a collegiately educated brother. Those brothers could not directly go outside of Black America. For many things, racism was very high. Even though you probably could marry somebody white or something like that, racism was more dangerous to do that. So the Black man, if he wanted to get married, he had to accept the fact that I'm going to marry, it's possible she is a single mother, okay? She has one or two kids. If I want to stay in a relationship, I want to get married, I'm not going to hold her children against her. I'm not going to hold her children against her because possibly my mom. Because I can tell you, my mom and my dad came with kids, my mom came with a child. So when they got together, they didn't hold it against each other. It was common in Black America that Black men, even if you didn't have kids, you didn't hold children against a woman like that. You would step in and be the father. You were the backup plan. So there was no reason for Black women to go out and say, I want to get me a white guy. I need Zaddy. I want to divest. You don't have to divest because you can go out and you can have children by somebody who won't take care of them. And then you can go out and then you can get somebody who will take care of them. Let's look at Shaquille O'Neal. He even made a song about how, his father was a stepdad because his biological didn't bother. The Zion Williamson situation. Zion Williamson's real dad was supposedly not around. A lot of Black men have these things where they come up with other people raising them, okay? It's common. Look at LeBron James. His mentors were not his father. Durant, not his father. Isaiah Thomas. I mean, anybody Black for the most part, outside of, Magic Johnson and Kobe and Jordan, a lot of brothers didn't have their dads there, and that's the story. If somebody raised them, it was somebody else. But then something magical happened to Black men in 2000s and 2010, and that was the internet. And you had this black male awakening. And this black male awakening came across, and I would credit the brothers going to Brazil in the 80s. Ebony wrote a hit piece on that. And then you had brothers starting to find out they could afford it. Wait a minute. I don't have to be the cleanup man anymore. I can take my talents to other places. Then you started hearing about Dominican Republic. You had some brothers who were going to Africa, but it wasn't publicized. And then slowly but surely it came up to steam. And then racist laws started to become more lenient. And brothers started going to more predominantly white institutions, and black men started to go out into greater America. And black men noticed one thing. I don't have to be the cleanup man anymore. I might not be your first choice, but I definitely don't have to be your second choice. So because I'm not your first choice, I can be somebody else's first choice outside of black America. I can deal with the Puerto Rican community. I can deal with the white community. I can deal with Asian women. I can do that. So less and less talented black men or black men who started to kind of know their value, they stopped being stepdaddy, especially in my generation. It was like, no, you have kids, you have children. I don't have to deal with that, so I won't. This is when you started to hear, I need white zaddy. And I need to explore my options. We'll talk about the person who's credited with starting the swirl movement. Don't believe me, her story is the exact reason of what I'm talking about now. She had a baby by a black man. It didn't work out. What did she do? She then went and married a white man. And she has made a really good living off of telling black women that you can meet you a white man. But in the reality, what I think that this is, what we're talking about is you really want this white guy to be the cleanup man. I don't think that you're looking to respect him or to honor him or to submit to him. Although that's what they are saying. Like, we want to honor him. He will provide for us. He will do this thing. I have a white guy. Really, that can't be the case. What the case really is here is the black guy doesn't want to be the cleanup man. He wants me, at the best, he wants to maybe pump and dump me because I already have children and I might be 40 or whatever. But the white guy will take my issues on. And he is going to save me from black America. Really, all we're trying to do is to make the white guy take the product that most black men don't want. As if the white guy doesn't understand what's going on. And I mean, like, if anybody understands about being cleanup men and how not to do it, I would have to say it's white guys. You know, white families and white people typically will look down on, wait, you're dating who? And she has what? But even take it to another extent. If that person's black, you're a white guy, you're from a middle class, upper middle class home. Your family would even criticize you dating a woman that was white that had a kid and you married her. Let alone let her be non-white. I mean, what are you thinking about? I mean, now you might have threats of kicking you out of the family, not giving you any inheritance. But this is what we're talking about now. When we hear these particular sisters who are in the divestment community, what they're pretty much is saying is we're looking for Brad to be our cleanup man. We're not looking for Brad initially. We're now looking for him to be the salvage guy. He needs to be the fall guy. He needs to pretty much render all of our problems to the correct source. And really, white guys who are being involved in this don't even know that you're being used. You're pretty much being targeted for the same reasons that black men are being targeted. The only thing is, when they meet you, they're fluffing it up. You know, if you're a white guy and you're meeting somebody that is in the swirl group, the act is to become more feminine. The act is to become more pretty. The act is to lose weight. The act is to do everything that's different than what got them in the situation in the first place. And obviously, to make you feel like you're the best situation in the world. But in reality, what they're looking for you to do is to pay all of the bills. They're looking for you to raise the children that are probably black. They're looking for you to do everything that a lot of black men don't want to do. In other words, you're the garbage time guy. That's really where you are, okay? That's what a lot of these, and I think that we don't understand this, because the guys that they do get, and I've talked about this, typically these are not men that are doing very well, or they're not men that have a lot to offer, because even in the white communities, if you're a guy that's middle class or upper middle class, why would you do that? I mean, you can go across anywhere. You're the number one wanted guy in the world. So, Zaddy, white Zaddy as they call him, is the fall guy, because the black guy is less likely to be the fall guy. So they want to go into another community to see if their tricks work over there. It's just like any con artist. You know, you go to a city, your con runs out, you go to another place to see if your con can still work. And that's what they're doing. They're pretty much trying to say, okay, black men have now caught on to the con game. Let's go to white America and try to use the con game with Brad. And then he will be the cleanup guy. So guys, what do you think about this? This is your boy O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm bringing you very good greetings from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm here for a few days. I'll be back in Uganda pretty soon. Subscribe, hit the bell. Let me know what's going on. As you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. If you like the video, subscribe, hit the bell. And then also, check me out here. And I'm out. Peace.